Hello there, friends, family, loved ones, family of light on YouTube and Facebook. This is DelVecchio coming to you live on Sunday, I think it's the 4th of August, 2019. And I do not typically go live on Facebook or YouTube on a Sunday. And just was in meditation and got a very strong urge. Actually, earlier today, I knew I was going to do this. I could feel it coming. I could feel it rising, that I needed to deliver a message today. So today's theme, I actually got the download. That's when I knew it was time to get up and do this as I was meditating by my altar. Heinous acts and unity consciousness. I don't even know if I'm saying that right. Heinous acts. Heinous acts and unity consciousness, a message of love in times of fear. So I'm motivated to do this message today for a few reasons. The first thing that I want to say is I really felt the rift in the force this morning. I felt a little bit like a Jedi in that way. You know, that feeling of there's a disturbance in the force. So we have some things going on right now in the United States, at least, and I know planetarily there's things going on in all kinds of countries. So if you're one of my friends who watches me, who's not in the United States, please bear with me because the overall message is still really, really significant for all of us, whether you're feeling the impact of these things or not. So in the United States, in the past, I don't know, it's like a week or maybe 10 days, there have been 3 mass shootings. And 2 of them happened. One happened in the middle of the night, and the other happened yesterday during the day. This has been an issue for quite some time. This is not a conversation about gun control or anything like that. I'm talking about frequency, spirituality, and waking up. Okay, so just to be clear that that's where I'm going with this. We also have a beginning of an unraveling of the web of vile, heinous criminality that's been controlling probably the planet and certainly this country, which is beginning with the thread that's unraveling it of this Epstein pedophilia thing. And are the two connected? Some of us are beginning to think so in some way. Here's how. The media is a mouthpiece for the control system. And so when the control system does not want to be seen doing its den of viper and thieves behavior, it ensures that the media gives voice to something else or constructs the narrative in a certain way so that people who are only watching the mainstream believe the narrative. And this is a longer, it's a deep rabbit hole. I don't want to go, this is not about politics either. I want to point something out though. When we have some very big, traumatic, dramatic events happening, and the media begins to say, look over here, look over here, look over here, you can almost be sure that over here, behind the scenes, is the thing that really is the issue that pulls a rug out from under us in terms of our freedom, in terms of safety, in terms of health, well-being, etc. Now, I'm not saying that there's something in any way right or fake about these mass shootings. This is terrible. And like I said, what I felt today was such a heaviness in my heart because the more I clear my own obstructions to love's presence and the more I do my own inner work to heal and return to love, the more I literally feel the collective frequency. And so my husband and I sat over our coffee this morning going, wow, like we feel this tragic suffering of the families of those and the witnesses of those and the injured of those who had to endure these mass shootings. And simultaneously, a part of me that likes to really see the big picture goes, it's not just about the mass shootings. There's something else going on that we're not supposed to see. The narrative is being constructed to be sure we pay attention over here to these terrible three different events, rather than the piece that could unravel it all and get rid of the vipers and thieves who are controlling all of this and have been doing it for a long time. Now, if this isn't making any sense to you, then maybe I'm not the right person to listen to, and maybe I am. So stay with me a little bit longer here, because I'm going to now shift this to the message of love in times of fear. I just needed to sort of set up the picture here and offer also a reminder that what we see in mainstream is not the only thing we should be staring at. We would do well to question the dominant narrative and wonder what else is going on, especially when it's a huge hoo-ha, whether that's a celebrity who's died under weird circumstances, or whatever it is that the mainstream media is making a big hoo-ha about. We would do well to ask what's going on the other side that's just being pushed out of our view. Now, with that, now let's look at the message of love in times of fear. So the first question that arises for loving, compassionate beings is, oh my God, oh my goddess, this is so tragic. These poor people that died, and of course, those who endured the trauma of it, and those who will now have to live with that trauma of the loss of their loved ones. Many are impacted by this. So we ask, what can we do? What can we do? And from that place of love and compassion, we try to find solutions. And those solutions can look like anything from offering contributions, like when we see refugees, for example, like donating to causes. It can look like getting back on the bandwagon against, for gun control. It can look like offering prayers. It can look like going to church or your religious or spiritual community and offering prayers. And all of that has its place. And I would say that what we need to do about this comes in two ways. One is the external actions, and that external action could be prayer. Prayer is incredibly valuable, and I would ask everyone who watches this at any time to offer prayers to the souls that were shockingly sent out of their bodies, offer prayers to the family, offer prayers to the injured, offer prayers to the shooters, offer prayers. They are invaluable right now. And offer prayers to yourself. So absolutely do that. Go deep within and connect with what is mine to do here? What is mine to do? That's what I ask. That's why I'm here on this video, is because what is mine to do is to deliver a message. So there's the the external action, whatever that is, contribution, prayer, maybe if you are close to family members and things, you're going to be in service, literally, physically. But then there's the internal piece, and this is where unity consciousness comes in. And this is where I want to tease out a little bit these concepts and really help us to understand, and really help myself as well to understand, like, how does this all work? So now this is the piece where I need to go in and get connected with my guidance more clearly, so it's not just Dawn personality talking to you from my knowledge. Okay, now I want to go in for a minute, so bear with me here and we'll see what arises. When we begin to understand that we are all one, we recognize that when we see terrible tragedies unfolding around us, that we are indeed part of a collective consciousness which is co-creating it. Just as we are co-creating every other aspect of this third dimensional reality, the trees, the relationships, the structures, the messages, the languages, the cultural narratives, we are also contributing in some way to a collective consciousness of hate, fear, separation, and violence. And therefore, the answer to what can I do? The biggest way that each of us can participate in transforming the tragic unfoldments that seem to be increasing on our planet is to go within and to heal our minds of the judgment towards self or others, the hatred towards self or others, the separation consciousness that blocks love's presence within us. Now, for those of you who this is new information to, it may sound like I'm like a crazy lady giving you a whack job answer, or it may sound like someone who's blaming the victim. And that's not what I'm doing. I'm not saying that the personalities involved in the suffering going on this planet have asked for it. What I am saying is that we are all living in a collective dream in which we co-create a mismanaged world because much of our consciousness is seeped in fear and judgment and hate and separation. And even those of us who've been deeply doing our work would do well to go deeper still, to dig deeper still. Where am I a vibrational match to judgment and hate? And I'll tell you right now where my growth edge is. My judgment of my body as I age, my judgment of the mistakes I've made in my youth. These are areas in my life personally where I am deeply committed to healing and forgiving myself and any characters involved in my play around that. When I do that, and when each of us does that, we raise our vibrational frequency to a level of love that then emanates from us, and we share it with the collective because we are all one. And this is the great paradox, that in our separated physical forms of these bodies, our biological mind and our logical sequencing of things cannot grasp. This is where higher mind must drop in for us to fully understand the true nature of this reality we are living in, which is not actually being impinged upon us, but is in fact the projection of what is within us. And so if you're getting this, and I know a lot of you who are connected with me, you get what I'm talking about, right? But it becomes really hard to bring together like the principle of, yes, we are all one, it's unity consciousness, we're really one in spirit, and the reality that we are currently in this 3D reality, which isn't actually, it's a false reality. The reality is we are one, we are love, and we are co-creating it in the dream in the mind of God. And so if we want to really be in highest service to those suffering right now, and if we want to be in highest service to the awakening of planet Earth so that we can create a new reality in which we are not subjected to imprisonment on a planet where we have to work just to live, then what we have to do is go within and remove the obstructions to love's presence through the practice of forgiveness. And how is that done? For the Western mind, the best, singlest, fastest way is A Course in Miracles. That is designed for the Western mind, for us to clarify our minds of all of the judgment and hate and the belief in separation, so that we can really not just ascribe to the principle of unity consciousness, but become it. Become the Christed consciousness of true awakening. Now, that's not the only path. There are other paths. And those who are steeped in the principles of Eastern philosophies will probably have a different path that makes more sense for them. But those of us who are steeped in Western consciousness, we have been steeped in some very, very toxic beliefs that need to be cleared from within us so that we are not just holding the light for others, but literally being the light that creates and co-creates the reality. So it's not just about being a loving friend. It is about being love. I hope that makes sense. So I want to just kind of summarize here. We have crazy shit going on the planet. We have had in America, and this is just America, and I know there's stuff going on other planets, on other countries, never mind other planets. I know there's things going on in other countries. Right now, currently in this part of my year, I'm in the States, and so I'm seeing what's going on. We've had 3 mass shootings. We have this Epstein case where this guy, this pedophile ring, is finally being exposed. But it's probably the media is going to try and hide it. And big, big influential people from around the planet are connected with it. And it is the controlling system that's controlling all of us. Now, on the outside, our actions are to be in service as and when needed, whether that is donating, whether that is contributing love, whether that is prayer, whatever that is that you deeply feel called to from when you go within and you ask, what is mine to do here? But there's the internal piece is the biggest piece. It's the biggest piece. Where am I a frequency match to unloving, fearful, attacking energy? Where am I a frequency match to chaotic overwhelm that's so exhausting that I blow up? Where, not to say that you're, where am I a murderer? No, you're probably not, you're not. That's not the point. Where am I an energetic match to the frequency that when escalated enough becomes a mass shooting? Is it that I'm so angry in some area of my life that I just want to rage? Is it that I am so judgmental against myself that I give myself no quarter when I even make the littlest itty bitty mistake? Is it because I am holding so much bitterness and resentment against my ex? Or, fill in the blank, my parents, whatever it is, that I snap when they say the slightest thing. These are our areas of work. And we have to do it with compassion for ourselves because we have been trained to be this intolerant. And so love is always the answer. Whatever the problem is, love is the solution. It's just that we've misunderstood what love is. And we have not given it to ourselves either. Most of us were raised in some degree of trauma, drama, separation, anxiety, and fear. And that left us very unresourced for dealing with life and vulnerable. And then we've been indoctrinated into believing that the world impinges itself upon us and we have to obey and we are not in control of the circumstances around us, when the very opposite is true. So what is ours to do? How are we to be in service to this transformation? We must do our inner work. We must do our inner work so we are no longer a frequency match to the crazy shit that's going on the planet. Because you know what? It's going to get more crazy. It's going to get more crazy. And so we can either choose to be, overwhelmed and traumatized by these things and watch it on the news over and over again and just activate those fear frequencies within. Or we could say, I'm going within, I'm going to do my inner work, no matter what comes, I'm going to face my own shadow, I'm going to heal it, I'm going to integrate it so that I can be the love that is needed right now on this planet, so that I can be grounded, anchored, centered, and able to hold the space for whatever shit comes down, because it's going to come down. It is coming down. So with that, I would also encourage you to earth yourself. Get on Mama Gaia. Ask her to help you. Ask her to take the EMF frequencies from you and to help you stay grounded in these times of change and tumult. And look at the sun at sunrise or sunset and ask Father Sun to activate the codes of light within you. Activate your awakening frequencies. Let yourself receive from these massive consciousnesses, the earth and the sun. Ask for their help as well. These are powerful tools to support us as well. So be the love that you need to be. Get support if you need to. If you have to work through your own trauma and stuff, get help. You can do it. If you don't have any resources, reach out to me privately. I've got lots of friends, therapists, counselors, entity removal friends. I mean, there's all kinds of resources available to us now. So if you're unresourced and you've got nowhere else to turn and you're watching this, reach out to me. I will, tell me a little bit about what's going on. I probably have someone I can refer you to, or at least direct you on where you need to, have a look at these kinds of things. Okay, so this has been a long video. Wow, I'm already at 20 minutes. I want to offer you, hey there, Heinous, good to see you. Hey, I'll be visiting you in Bali soon, if you're still there, visiting Bali in October. So anyway, a little side note there. Sending all of you much love. Hold the light, sisters and brothers. This is a time of great tumult and change. We're going to see more of this. I will continue to give messages as they come through to me. There are many of us messengers right now. This is about transforming us to love. And so whatever you see coming, offer what, tune in to find out what's yours to do, and do your inner work that you may be a vibrational match to love and not fear. Hey, Giselle, good to see you here, my dear. Sending so much love your way. All right, wrapping up for now, please. Thanks for the love. Thank you. If this message resonates, please also share it with others, because we all need, as the family of light, to hold and support each other right now, to be a force of love and light. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I love you all dearly. Let us hold the light. Until soon, sending you each much love. Bye for now. Thank you, thank you.